Thank you. Thank you for jumping on and participating. Like I said, it means a lot to us. It means a lot to me, knowing you for so long and being part of the story at Lloyd. So as part of our 25-year anniversary, we're doing some testimonials. Just a few quick questions we'll go through, and would love to hear your feedback and thoughts on the relationship and everything up to this point between Lloyd and Vita Coco. So give us a brief overview. Obviously, Vita Coco is a big name, been around for a while, but tell us, a little bit about the business, and tell us how long you guys have been a client with Lloyd, so how long we've been doing business together.
Vita Coco started off with just coconut water about, I'm going to say 15 years ago, with our founders rollerblading around Manhattan, going from bodega to bodega, trying to shop this weird water that no one's ever tasted before. And now we're, multi-million-dollar company, and we also have coconut water, coconut oil, coconut this, coconut that, constantly coming up with, new innovation to own the coconut category. And I've been with the company for over 10 years. And when I came into the company, Vita Coco was already working with Lloyd Group. Like a small level, right? We were just sort of like testing the waters. And then we signed on to be full partners, and we've just grown ever since, both of our companies.
Yeah, you guys have been a big part of that, and thank you for the opportunity. And obviously, when you came on board, it kind of made things a lot, easier as our primary contact. We're successful in many cases when our primary contact is, easy to work with. Communication lines are open, so you've been a big part of that. Staying on this question real quick, I always kind of joke around whenever I ask you, what's your role at Vita Coco? And we always joke around and say it's like, what is it? What was the term that we use?
Secret agent.
Secret agent, yeah. So yeah. Tell me what, I know you have wear so many hats at the company. Tell us what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I never think about what I do because I don't know how to answer that. When some employees who worked with me for years, when they're leaving the company, their last question is, so Doanie, what exactly do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. And just thinking, when I said out loud that we've worked together for over 10 years, Lloyd Group and Vita Coco, I don't have an IT background, never learned it. I just do what I do. I'm a problem solver, and that's why I work with Lloyd Group. I just solve problems, whether it's IT or office or corporate culture or finance or HR. I just do a little bit of everything. And I have that old sort of early day Vita Coco history in my brain that I can always reference. And it's just all about growing, learning, problem solving, trying to be more efficient in every single thing that we do, whether it's, me sending in a ticket to create a new user and, and having everything on a form with pretty colors that I made, or, knowing who to go to in your company to get things done in an emergency when there's, like a fire drill going on. It's just, I just like having the access and to Lloyd Group's resources and knowing that together we can get things done correctly.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, and I definitely can attest to that. I've been obviously at Lloyd for so long and started on the help desk side and working very closely with you. I could say you've made it, a lot easier for us and also helped us kind of grow. You've made us better because you hold us accountable. You've helped us develop new process and challenged us in many different ways. I know we've had our ups and downs in cases where we've learned where, we've succeeded in certain areas and failed and learned in other areas. So, I wanted to say thank you for helping us from that standpoint. You've been a big part of our growth and us being able to then take on other opportunities to use what we learned from Vita Coco to help from that standpoint. So that's great. Awesome. So obviously we're in a unique scenario now with the pandemic, and you've been working with us for so long. I always bring up the Hurricane Sandy scenario when you guys work with us. I think the blackout at some point, maybe you guys were a client or not, but how has Vita Coco, I don't know if we were, yeah. How has Lloyd obviously been able to assist during this pandemic? And it could be, obviously things that we may have prepared for or set up, from, moving you to the cloud and making everyone kind of nimble and mobile. But how has Vita Coco worked during this pandemic, and how have we been able to help you guys, hopefully be successful and thrive during this time?
Okay, so during the pandemic, the best thing I could say about Lloyd Group working with Vita Coco is that we did not have any hiccups with sending our workforce to work from home. There has been no major issues, or business did not stop. It didn't even slow down. In fact, it's faster than ever. But that's a proponent of being in the beverage world. Everybody still needs to eat and drink, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's been easy. I relocated from New York City to California 3 years ago because I couldn't live in New York anymore. And having somebody from Lloyd Group on site in the office was the only thing that made that transition workable. Without me there, I needed somebody there, whether it was David or Nick. And now we have Jack, who mostly has worked from home and not in our office. And I can always rely on them to, go dig up an old computer, or, go troubleshoot a desk phone, or, help set up for a new employee coming in.
Yeah.
Without them, I couldn't do my job here in sunny California.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great. And once again, it's the opportunity that you guys gave us. I think you might actually have been one of our first clients that moved to that, what we call that presence model. I remember speaking to you and Jonathan many years ago. You were like, what can we do to, potentially get somebody here part-time? And we got creative, and that actually kind of launched our new solution, which we do for some of our clients now as well. So that's a great story and big part of all of that. So that's awesome. And
well, the reason why we started this is because you had such a stellar employee that we would see come visit the office once in a while. And it was sort of like, how can we get more of that talent in our own office? And if it's only just part-time, then that's what we needed, and we just stuck with it. It's been probably like 6 years or so, 5 years of that. So
awesome. Yeah, and that certainly helped make the relationship healthy and grow from that standpoint. So that's great, and it's great to hear that you guys are obviously during this tough time, your business is thriving because of the need and the niche that you're in. So that's awesome, and we're happy to help in any way, and hopefully continue to thrive moving forward. Awesome. And then the last question is, I know you mentioned Lloyd Group was here before you started. But any recollection of, I think it was through a warm referral. I think a former employee of another client came over to Vita Coco, knew of us, brought us in, and I think that's how we kind of got the introduction and stuck. So if you remember, and tell us a little bit about that story, and what's the best part of being part of our Lloyd community. I know from a cultural standpoint, I know you guys are big on culture. We've tried to be big on that through the years as well, with various events that you've certainly participated in through the years. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think when you base your business on culture, it just changes everything. You get the right attitude, you get the right ambition, you get the right camaraderie, you get the right teamwork, and that just makes a company better, whether it's at Lloyd Group or Vita Coco. And in the beginning, I thought it was just a thing, like, oh, it's happy hours and like school colors. But now it's become even more apparent, as we're all working from home, how important that is, and the connections that we have. Yeah. And the culture is really about being inclusive, accepting everybody for who they are, and drawing out from them their best talents, and showing them that they can just grow, just keep growing. And I think you guys do a great job of that. From my point of view, it's a negative for me, because when you guys recognize somebody who's good, that means within a few months they're going to be promoted. And so I'll have to say bye to them. But otherwise, I think it's great to be so nimble and to keep everything very dynamic. And I think it shows that during the pandemic that's the only way to be.
Appreciate it. Hopefully we can celebrate, 30 years, 40 years, however long it is. And if you're ever back in New York anytime soon, we'll hopefully get together again.
Yeah, the next time I'm in, for sure.
All right. Awesome, Doanie. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.